Hello everyone, this is Ritika Kanogia and you're watching Textile Value Chain. Today we are going to interview Mr. Ajay Pradhan. He is a country manager of India, the wool mark company, and we are going to take interview of Mr. Todd Miller, who is the trade commissioner of Austrade. Yeah. Hello sir, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
So can you give us the brief about what is wool mark?
The Woolmark company is a brand owned by AWI, Australian Wool Innovation, which is the marketing and innovation arm of Australian wool industry. The job of this organization is to keep a sustained demand of merino wool as a fiber, right? And to connect the entire global wool supply chain. So that's basically to keep the demand going, right? And we work a lot with at the consumer and the brand level as well, where we collaborate with them in introducing new products, right, and educating the consumers on the benefits of the wool.
So, okay, my first question for you. The wool mark company has announced partnership with Citra and TITS. What inspired this collaboration and what impact do you expect?
Okay, we work very closely with the industry and the industry bodies, right? And education being one of the important activity that we do. TITS as an institution is a renowned institution in India around textile technology and engineering. Woolmark has developed a learning center called Wool Learning Center. Is an online platform where anybody can come in and take from a basic level to a very high grade of learning on wool at that platform. So we are giving that platform to the institution to be put into their course curriculum. Right, students can get access to a better quality course material around wool and learn from it. That's the collaboration with TITS. With Citra, we are working on innovation around wool and cotton blend, where wool can be used in cotton spinning system, and we can have a more intimate blend of wool and cotton to be done as a product, which makes more wool more accessible.
So, Mr. Miller, this question's for you. So, how do you see textiles strengthening India-Australia ties?
Me, as part of the Australian government, the Australian Trade Investment Commission is, or Austrade, we're the federal government. I lead the agri-food and agriculture sector for the entire region. And so we're working across all of the subsectors, but the textiles sector is really important to Australia, really important to India and the broader region, including Bangladesh and Nepal in particular. And, for Australia, we were just saying before, particularly from a wool point of view, Australia as a nation, there's an old saying about Australia was built on the sheep's back. And that began with wool, and that began all the way back in the 1800s, the exporting of raw wool materials to the world to build or to make, some of the world's best woolen products. And, the staggering thing is the breadth of where Australian wool ends up in curtains or in rugs or in carpet, garments. And now the really exciting thing around the innovation with Woolmark is particularly around activewear and sportswear, and with products that people would never have thought have wool in them. But it's really the India-Australia relationship is probably the strongest it's been. Both of our prime ministers are, in an Australian sense, good mates, as we might say. And Prime Minister Modi was in Australia last week, and that was an incredibly successful trip. But yeah, for me, this sector is kind of the foundation for a lot of the other, Australian exports of products coming out. And we actually use the wool and cotton industry, but both those industries as a bit of an inspiration for others to see how successful they can be.
So, how has ECTA impacted textile trade?
So the ECTA, just over 2 years ago, has had a really big impact in the growth of a number of subsectors, and in wool and cotton in particular, and wool, it's been really good growth. And what we've also seen though is just it creates more interest, and so all of a sudden companies in Australia and companies here are saying, well, hang on, what does this trade agreement do? What does it do for me? And it's a lot more than just, yes, there's tariff benefits and all of those things. It makes us more competitive in a global market. But we also stand by our quality, right? And our premium nature of our products as well. It's really important that we hold that premium sector.
Yes. So, like last question for you, how important is Bharat Tex for global business?
I think, I mean, this is my first visit to Bharat Tex, so I'm honoured to be here. I know AJ and the team, he'll talk about him. This is their third year. We're really proud to support AWI and Woolmark on this booth and to be part of Bharat Tex. This is the premium show for the textiles industry in the region, and what I always say to our companies is need to come to these because all of the players are in one room at one time, and you've got to be here.
So, how is Australia Merino Wool supporting sustainability goals?
All right. So sustainability is the buzzword for the last couple of years now, and I think from the buzzword, it's moving on to becoming an essential requirement for all the organizations in the textile industry, right? Wool being a natural fiber, which is 100% natural, biodegradable, and renewable. I think there is no substitute to a fiber like this, right? So anybody who wants to, brands or designers who want to explore sustainable product, right, or get into it, and want to do more premium products, right? There's a fiber that they have to adopt, right? We are raising a lot of awareness about the fiber with consumers and with trade and designers, right? So that they are able to extract the best value out of it, right? Now those values can be derived out of the innovation that Woolmark has delivered, right? And we are supporting the industry in adoption of those innovations.
So, like last question for you also, what message would you like to share with manufacturers at Bharat Tech 2026?
I think my message would be open, right? There's the Bharat Tex is a global platform which the government has introduced, and it's going very successful. We should maximize on this. There is immense potential. The I think the domestic industry is huge, but there is a large part of export that we need to capitalize on, right? And I think wool and any fiber, we should not be dependent on what is available locally, right? Also look at what we can source. The expertise of this country lies in the strength of the manufacturing industry that's there, right? Anything that we manufacture and is able to be exported, and there is a good demand of that fiber into countries like Europe, US, and Japan. I think the manufacturers should just go ahead and grab those opportunities.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your precious work.
Thank you.